Front page of the Taifa Leo. Kenya inavyoosha pesa chafu. Serikali ya Amerika imefichua jinsi pesa zinazopatikana kwa njia haramu nchini hugeuzwa kuwa halali. Ripoti kuhusu usafishaji wa pesa haramu iliyotolewa na idara ya mashauri ya kigeni ya Amerika imeonyesha kuwa huduma za pesa za simu ambazo hutumiwa na idadi kubwa ya raia wa Somalia humu nchini zimegeuka kuwa mojawapo ya mbinu kuu ambazo wahalifu hutumia kusafisha pesa zao. Kusafisha in quotes. Money laundering, ukurasa wa pili. Okay. So ripoti wahalifu hao wakati mwingine wale wanaohusika katika ulanguzi wa mihadarati, binadamu, silaha, wanyamapori, mbao, makaa na madini. Kulingana na ripoti hiyo iliyotolewa mwezi huu, huduma hizo za fedha ambazo hazisimamiwi na sheria za nchini huwa zinawasaidia wahalifu kwa vile wanaweza kuzitumia kwa urahisi bila kutambuliwa. This is a quote from the report. Raia wa kigeni wakiwemo wakimbizi na wakazi kutoka Somalia mara nyingi hutumia huduma za kutuma na kupokea pesa kimataifa ambazo si rasmi. Wahalifu huweza kutumia mbinu hizi kupata uwezo wa kuhamisha pesa kwa haraka na bila kutambuliwa. So the crux of the story is basically money transfers being used to launder dirty money, proceeds of whether it's human trafficking, weapons, charcoal, minerals, animal smuggling as well. So vile imebainika kuwa urasimu na uwezo duni wa asasi zinazohusika kuchunguza matumizi ya pesa haramu.
Hold on. Please translate.
No, I'm still
urasimu na asasi ati what?
Pesa, wamesema pesa haramu.
Pia inabainika nini?
Urasimu na uwezo duni wa asasi zinazohusika kuchunguza matumizi ya pesa haramu huweza hutatiza upelelezi wa kufungulia washukiwa mashtaka. So I'm guessing, this is my interpretation when I read this.
Urasimu and asasi.
The tools necessary to like investigate money laundering. That was my understanding, but I don't know. Uwezo duni wa asasi zinazohusika kuchunguza matumizi ya pesa haramu.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
Made me second guess. I understood. So wait.
I think the general meaning I think is what you've captured, because I think that's what I also understand.
Right.
That our capacity to investigate this is hampered. And now all those words. Urasimu nani?
So it's sounding the alarm on the laundering, and it's also stating that what is it that we don't have capacity, or what is being, or the capacity is being hampered by what exactly?
Yes, so nasema because kutokana na Kenya kupakana na Somalia, pesa haramu huingizwa kutoka kwa sekta zisizosimamiwa na sheria Somalia, kama vile biashara ya miraa au uzaji makaa. Maafisa wa serikali wanakiri kwamba wakati mwingi bidhaa zinazosemekana kuwa za nchi za nje ambazo hupitia Kenya huwa zinaishia kuuzwa ndani ya nchi. So again, porous borders, one, lack of regulation in a lot of these sectors, and then the fact that we also don't seem to have that much capacity to find out where is this money going in. So, mambo ni mengi.
So it's sounding the alarm. I think now the next step is okay. If the capacity
is not there.
It's looking at how do you strengthen that capacity.
How do we strengthen the capacity?
When you talk about illicit inflows of cash, and I think there are several other reports. If I remember correctly, there's an economist, a young economist, who's been doing some study and is publishing a report on illicit inflows of cash. Inflows of illicit cash, whatever. Cash inflows of illicit. And it talks about, this captures the same. Yeah. Because then this illicit trade that's happening, whether it's charcoal, whether it's whatever, and how is it flowing and how is it financing other things? Are we able to actually track and properly say that this is money laundering? We have got a strong anti-money laundering law. We also have another law that talks about if we have determined that this is proceeds from money laundering, how the state can then also capture that, and you can forfeit that to the state. But now it's, I think, the capacity of our investigative agencies in actually detecting hii pesa inapandisha maflats huku.
Drawing the links, yeah, I think so.
I don't know, there seems to be, here's my thinking, and the money laundering conversation has been loud and very prolonged, but we often see, even from just a ground perspective, that some things aren't right here. You know, you go to certain neighborhoods, you go to certain places, you're like, what's happening? You see how people live, you're like, what's happening? And you're like, I know the state agencies are capable of investigating or finding out what's happening. So the question then becomes, is it a complicity or a lack of goodwill or a lack of resource? Because if you can see it and you're like, hizi flats imepandishwa in a record 3 months, or there's a group of people who are coming in and they're willing to pay 1.5 times their usual rent at this place. Like, you start asking questions, and then like, okay, they're not asking questions, the state that is, or the police, or any other body that's in charge of like investigations like this. So
it does make you wonder, and not to compare the pain of a broken finger and the pain of a broken arm, but even yesterday we were trying to interrogate the issues in the north, North Rift. I think that's the concern to what you've just said, Mariam, where we can see these issues exist. We know that there's intelligence behind it. We understand that perhaps the police service in this case of laundering has information. So is it a complicity? Is it a lack of, what is it? Is it political interference or goodwill? But that seems to be this pattern where we can see with our naked eyes all of these different issues happening. Why are state agencies either responding late or not responding at all, or giving very vague answers with regards to why these issues persist?
Right.
Yeah.
Some of them actually could just be that deliberate lack of proper facilitation. Because for you to prove money laundering, for you, to follow the money, there's a certain, you need a lot of facilitation to be able to do that, to link between this and the other. And so because you can't link this and the other, and if I go to court, I'll be told, all right, prove.
Show me the thread, and you're unable.
Show me. Just thread it. And you have not been facilitated well enough to. I know. Tunajua vile umefanya.
Right.
But I can't prove it.
We can't prove it because that does take quite a bit of resourcing to follow that thread.
Yeah.
Time for a short break, guys.
Time for that break.